What is up, Block? Feenix here, and welcome back to the Farming Sim 22 video. Now, for those of you who watched yesterday's 5 things I really like about Farming Sim 22, this is going to be a sequel to that, and this is going to be 5 things I'm really disliking about Farming Sim 22. For those of you who have not watched yesterday's video, I highly recommend you head on over to that video, watch it first, because I praise Farming Sim 22 a lot, and praise Giants for the work that they did, the positives that they did. Whereas today I'm going to just be crapping on all of it. Yesterday's video was a better judgment of Farm Sim 22 and what you can look forward to. Whereas today's video is going to be me pinpointing, like, I guess, personal negatives that I've found while playing 22. I do want to start by saying I have really enjoyed playing Farm Sim 22, and I've played more of Farm Sim 22 in the first week than I did Farm Sim 19 in its first week. So that should give you guys kind of a judgment on where I stand when it comes to, is it better than 19? Not only that, I've completely uninstalled 19, deleted all the mods. I have no desire to ever go back to Farm Sim 19, but 22 also has its issues for me, and I wanted to just kind of list them here. Again, these are personal issues to me. You might not find these issues, you might not have these issues, but so far, since I've been playing over the last week, I have found these issues. Like I said, if you haven't watched yesterday's video, go watch it first. Start with the positive, then come for the negative, because I am going to be crapping on Giants a lot here. It feels like Giants really did put some stuff out just without testing it whatsoever. So shame on them if that's true, because some of this stuff should not have made it through the testing phase. So it was rushed through just to get the game out, and that makes no sense since they had a whole extra year to work on this game. But without further ado, let's jump into my list on 5 things I really dislike about Farm Sim 22. The first one on my list is production chains in servers. Like, I don't know if you guys are having this issue, but in our server, the production chains are completely broken. Like, they're practically unusable. They spit out a pallet here and there, but it takes forever to get a pallet. We've played, I want to say, through at least 10 days in our save, and only gotten 2 bread pallets out of the deal. Like, it is completely busted. I've sat there and watched it. I was wondering why we weren't getting any bread whatsoever, so I sat there and watched it, and I watched for example, when I first discovered there was an issue, we had 15,000 flour and 800 bread. Well, I sat there and fast forward time, and the bread went up to over 1,000. The flour went down to 14,000 something. And after a few minutes of fast forwarding through time, they reset. So the bread went back down to 800. The flour went back up to 15,000. Like, all that work was never done. And I don't understand what was going on, because at first the grain mill was working fine. The grain mill was kicking out flour like crazy. We loaded them up. We took them to the bakery, and it seems like once the bakery started working, or started to get to working, there was all kinds of hell broke loose. Like, we had severe rubber banding, and it was because the productions were constantly turning on and off. So when it says missing material, it would go running, missing material, running, missing material, running, missing material. Like, it was really bad. It was causing a lot of rubber banding. You guys can see that it was in a live stream. So the whole production chain thing is really broken for servers, and I don't know if they've tested stuff on servers or not, because this should not have made it through. It should not have made it through at all, because it is bad. It breaks the server pretty much with the server lag. Not only are the production chains not working, but the whole concept of the buildings is mind-boggling to me. How that was okayed. So, if you guys are unaware, when you buy a production place, so like the bakery, when you first load in, the bakery is not bought. It's on a plot of land that you can't buy, but you can buy the building and start the production stuff. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but if you buy the bakery, you can't use it as a sell point anymore. Like, for, what was it? I should rewind and use the grain mill as an example, because the grain mill is listed as a sell point in your list. So I bought the grain mill. I was going to make flour to take to the bakery. Brandon since Brandon's on a different farm, he can no longer use that as a sell point. I can't use it as a sell point. I can only take my grain there to make flour. So it makes no sense why they didn't have a separate sell point in that area, if that makes sense. It really is so broken. And the fact that you can't sell it, because if you sell it, then that whole building disappears completely. So you, like, even if you sell it, you can't use it as a sell point going forward. So the whole server side of production chains and the buildings are really, really broken, and I hope that hopefully Giants puts out an update for that and fixes it, because it's terrible. It's really terrible. Let's move on to number 2. And number 2 on my list is the new landscape tool. You know, there's a saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, Giants tried to reinvent the wheel here. It was fine. The landscaping tool from 19, after they tweaked it, worked perfectly. Like, I have no complaints on how the terrain tool worked the landscaping tool worked for terrain editing in 19. We use it a ton. You guys probably saw it in the many live streams we did. Giants, for some reason, decided that they wanted to just completely change it to the point where it is so bad. It's so bad. I don't know why they did it. And this is something I recently discovered, because we've been saving up money to build a farm and put some shops down. And then once I finally did, I was like, why did they change this at all? For example, the flatten tool, it doesn't even flatten. I spent like 10 minutes flattening out a piece of land. And when I escaped from the landscape tool, the land was more bumpy than what it was when I started. I don't get it. It's supposed to flatten. Like, just let me flatten my damn land. But, you know, regardless, like, I put a building down, and the building, it raised up to match, like, to flatten it out. Your building would raise up. Not this one. It sinks it down the ground, and it puts it, like, it doesn't even, I don't even know how to say, like, so there was like this giant bump when I placed the shop down. You had to back over, so I tried to flatten that, and it made everything around that area dip down, but that bump there just stayed there. And I'm just like, what? Why is this a thing? Why is this so bad? Giants, you had it right. You guys nailed it in 19. Why did you have to change it? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that you can, like, it's all organized and everything, and the whole menu looks cool. But you should have just left it at that and left the same features and the same editing and everything. That would have been great. To me, that would have been so much better than what you did now. So much better. Not to mention, they went back to when you paint with paint grass, it doesn't actually make the grass appear. It's a whole separate thing now. So it's like, why would you, if you're gonna spray grass down on the ground, you're gonna want grass there, right? Why do you make it separate? Why do you have to make things so difficult? It was so good in 19, Giants, and you just completely ruined it. Now I have to go back and figure out how to work the whole new tool, and hell, probably in Farm Sim 25 or 2024, whatever you plan on putting out another one, you're probably going to change it again. Leave it alone. Actually, put out an update and bring back the 19 mechanics. That'd be great. Please. I highly doubt. Excuse me. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but I would love it so much better if you did. I really would. let's move on to number 3. And number 3 is going to be controversial to some people, because some people already have made a stink about me not liking this. But number 3 is the Mack Trucks. Hate 'em. I shouldn't say that. I should say I really like the way the Mack Truck looks. All 3 of them. All 3 of them look beautiful. I love the options on the newer 2. The old one with no options and it costs more money kind of sucks. I mean, I know you can get paint jobs, but all the paint colors are the same. I don't know why they didn't make that one color choice. I guess because they put out a black one for a pre-order bonus, and they didn't want you to be able to copy that. Like, why? Why? Anyway, so all the Mack Trucks they're so bad at handling. Like, the slightest hill and the thing can barely make it up. When you go to take off, your wheels just spin. Like, it's like the tires have no traction whatsoever on them. How's that a thing? How's that possible? And there's already been people like, well, that's just how the Mack Trucks work. No, it doesn't. Don't. Stop. That's not how Mack Trucks work in real life. You don't step on the throttle and the thing just goes. No, that's not how it works. And the fact that it can't even make it up the slightest hill without like struggling, and if you stop on a hill, the fact that you can't get going at all, that's not realistic. It's not realistic whatsoever. I know a truck would struggle, getting started on a hill, but not that side of a hill. Like Elm Creek, there is not many like steep hills whatsoever. Once you get up in the northern part of the map, yes, but on the highway and the roads leading up to like sell points and stuff, it's not that bad, and that truck should not be having that much problem, especially unloaded. Unloaded grain trailer, unloaded flat deck or step deck trailer shouldn't have that issue. So I think the Macks really need a new handling update, I guess you can say, to make them a little bit better. I saw that Stevie has released a edit of the 1. I haven't tested it out yet, but hopefully it's better. But I mean, we already got like Peterbilts and stuff coming out, so yeah. But the Macks made number 3 because I was so looking for it. They looked good. I bought it and I was like, ooh, this looks really, really good. Hooked up a trailer and I was like, what? Why is this? Don't get me wrong, the Macks aren't completely garbage. The interior looks great, the exterior looks great. I love the sleeper options, but the fact that they pretty much are useless when it comes to pulling a trailer, there's no point in buying them. So let's move on to number 4, and that is Seasons. Now, I put Seasons on my list of things I was not looking forward to, and so far it has proven me to be right. Because it seems like there's some issues when it comes to Seasons already. People are having problems turning it off. Even if you turn it off, you still have to go through the season cycles and stuff like that. Like Giants promised that Seasons would be completely redone and be an optional thing, and so far it is. People have been freaking out about how they still have to go with seasonal stuff to instead of just turning it off. I understand that. Seasons also for me is made the server kind of boring. We sit around a lot with nothing to do, and I don't understand why people would enjoy that at all. Like, I don't understand why people like Seasons is a big thing for some farms and players. I don't understand why in a video game you would want to sit around and do nothing. I guess if you enjoy ultra realism, I understand that. But man, when it comes, we've slept through days and days and days and days and days and stood around and goofed off because there is nothing to do in the server. And don't get me wrong, we don't have all the fields bought and everything yet. Maybe once we get the fields bought and get a planting rotation going, maybe it will be enjoyable. But so far, it has proven to be the most boring addition to Farm Sim for me. Like, not a fan at all. And I told you guys I was not looking forward to Seasons when it was announced being a thing for 22. Like, again, like I knew it was gonna be this one for me. I mean, it works like it's supposed to. So I guess, with the exception of when you turn it off, it not working. It works when it's like it's supposed to. But not only that, I've heard some complaints about the snow being not snowy enough, I guess you can say. Like, it doesn't coat the actual main roads and stuff. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer too. But I haven't experienced it for myself, so I can't talk about that. But I have heard some people complain about that so far. Let's move on to number 5, and this is extremely personal. Has nothing to do. It's not in the game. It was just something I wanted to gripe about, and I was hoping Giants would do, I guess you can say, for 22. I was hoping they'd take more inspiration from the mods that we got for 19. I was hoping that Giants would see what people wanted, see what was the highest downloaded. Like, for example, everybody loves the TLX trucks, the TLX 9000 and TLX Feenix. People love those. Even the anything from 82 Studios, people absolutely loved and went crazy over when it came out. Why was none of it incorporated into the game? Like, hell, give that man, like, some money for his mods and put them in part of the base game. I would much rather, and this is going to be controversial, I would much rather have the TLX 9000 or the TLX Feenix as base games, like day one in the game, over the Mack Trucks. Hands down. I would much rather have them. A lot more options. They would have worked better. They should have been... That's what all the time should have been spent on, other than the freaking Mack Trucks, if you ask me. Been so much better. The pickup trucks in-game completely suck. Throw freaking 82 Studios pickup trucks in there. Not even that. What was it? NMC? Their pickup truck? A whole lot better than anything we get in-game. Why is Giants not seeing what people want? I mean, it's starting to feel like it's just a quick money grab for them to put out. They're starting to become EA Sports. Like, they see what we want, they know what we want, and they listen to a little bit. I mean, we get the Mack Trucks and stuff like that, but they completely overlook what is like the number one thing people are downloading for their game: the mods. And when they try to incorporate those mods, they completely butcher them. The whole production stuff was in Global Company. I really hope Global Company, all those production stuff, come back and do a lot better than what Giants has done. Like the logging. The logging, I think, is one thing they got right from mods, but everything else they've tried to take from mods. Seasons. This is the biggest one that they butchered for 19, and then 22 they somewhat get right, but there's still issues with it. Like, listen to what your players are saying that they want. They want good pickup trucks in the game. They want good semi trucks in the game. And look, I really hope Giants, you saw it for 19, you saw for 17 what people want. Look at it for 22 and make the next game a lot better. And again, the modders are more than likely willing to work with you. Like, if you put their stuff in the game, if you give them credit, or even give them a little paycheck, or even hire them to do the game, the stuff in game, like, they probably would do it. So maybe you should do that next time around. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, that is going to do it for me, guys. I'm sorry for the little rant there at the end. But that was 5 things I'm really disliking so far about 22. If you guys are or feel the same way about certain things, let me know. If you guys have different things you dislike that I didn't touch on, or even if there's stuff that I touched on that you actually do like, feel free to let me know. I am an open book. I am open to what you have to hear, or what you have to hear. Open to hear what you have to say. So feel free to let me know. Anyway, I was going to do it. If you guys did like the video, be sure to leave a like down below. It does help me out so very, very much, and I do appreciate it so very, very much. If you guys do want to see future Farm Sim 22 videos, be sure to click that subscribe button. If you guys want to be notified whenever we'll ever upload a video, be sure to click the notification bell. As always, guys, thank you so very, very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.